to lay my shaft loop in. Good. Push my shafts forward. I'll pull down my trace. Get into my single tree. So twist. See, I got a twist. Take my twists out. So I have to keep my hand on my cart because my cart, I only have half my pulling system hooked up. Right? I have steering, pulling, no braking. So now I have a full pulling system. Then I'll do my hold back. It comes underneath the trace. Wraps in front of the footman's loop, back through the first wrap, and buckles in. With this style of harness, I set my suspension in the hitch with the hold backs. So I have half my braking system now. I have pulling, steering, and half my braking system. So now again, hold back goes under the trace, wraps in front of the footman's loop, back under my first loop, back into the point hole. My kick strap then, because now I have my three primary systems hooked up. I have pulling, steering, and braking. Now I'll do my kick strap. I go under the trace, wrap on the shaft, in front of where I came in with my kick strap. Can you see that? So my kick strap's here. I wrap forward. Okay, and I go back to my point hole. Again, you notice I'm encompassing the trace. I'm not tying the trace down. The kick strap's considered a $75 insurance policy. Okay, it's a way of keeping yourself from getting kicked in the face. I always say it keeps your pretty face smiling, right? Because if you get kicked in the face, like you're in kick range here, that makes sense? Whereas this thing right here, this will keep her from ever doing anything like that. There's a guy that I knew, he had a combined driving horse that was a world-class horse. He'd been to Worlds. He'd won just about anything and everything that there was to win. And he was over at my neighbor's house, and he was talking to my neighbor, and they just were sitting there, and the horse was hitched up, and they were talking about the weather, you know, and his wife was sitting in the cart with him, and the horse just took to kicking after about a half an hour standing there. Just kicked to smithereens the cart, ended up killing the horse, and it kicked the lady in the chest, kicked the guy in the face. I mean, it was just terrible, really beat him up. And so they did a necropsy on the horse trying to figure out why this tame old nag started kicking, and he got stung by a hornet on his sheath about 5 or 6 times. And so it's one of those things that's completely, like, who could ever plan for that or train for that, right? The horse was safe, but he just got bit in a goofy spot, and he's still a horse. You know what I mean? No matter how good he gets, he's still a horse. And so he ends up doing that, and it could have all been saved, and the horse could have been saved, and the whole deal could have been saved by a kick strap. Okay? It's $75, and it really would have saved that horse. It would have saved them a ton of bills and all that kind of stuff going to the hospital. When a horse is in a kick strap and he tries to kick, all that it does is it limits his butt from going too high. Can you see how that would allow his butt to go only so high? For this horse to be able to kick me when I'm sitting in the cart with my head all the way up there, she would have to put her head down between her knees, right? And she would have to have her butt up probably about 4 or 5 feet from right here, right? To be able to get her feet all the way up there. She'll still be able to single leg kick out at me, but she won't be able to double barrel hurt me, okay? So, anybody got any questions on a kick strap? Good. So anyway, so that's a fully hitched horse. I have all of my systems connected. Now, if I was going to drive, I'd just pull down my reins, go to the rear, step on the back of my cart, and I'd be ready to rock. Okay? We'll hitch, we don't usually hitch tied to a rail, but we don't really have enough help to not hitch ultimately though, we'll get to where when we've got enough of you guys graduated this class, then we'll do all of our hitching not tied. So, make sense?
I have a question.
Yes.
Both the kick strap and the holdbacks go underneath the trace before they wrap?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Underneath the trace and underneath the shaft, and then they wrap, and then they go back to the point hole. Okay? So now with this, it's the same thing as before. The traces set where my horse is in my vehicle. Okay, my traces, the shorter they are, you can see the further forward my cart would be. Can everybody see that? The longer they are, the further back she would be in the vehicle. Okay? So they set the shaft point on my vehicle. Then, so that's that. Then my holdbacks, right, which are just quarter straps that are not going to a pull strap. My holdbacks are then what set my suspension in the hitch. Okay, so if you look here, she's got tight traces, and then she's got that much friction pressure. Okay, so she's set in there pretty nice right now. That's pretty close to what I'd like to see her at. Okay? Anybody got any questions on that? Good. Simple as a hammer.